Guys, my name is Ted, and I'm bringing you guys a little bit of a story time here. And I'm recording on my Galaxy S3, so you can go ahead and insert your joke on how I'm recording with the toaster. I don't have the best recording quality right now. I do want to get a Galaxy camera, whole different story. Anyways, I want to talk about the Nexus 4 launch. And I love Google. I'm a huge Android fanboy. Call me out on it, it's fine. I love Android, just like people that love Apple, they love their iPhones. And the Nexus is as big in the Android market as the iPhone is for the Apple fans. The Nexus device is Google's own made device that normally features a brand new version of Android, and I got my Nexus 7 over there. I bought that whenever it came out on the Play Store, and I've always had troubles getting these devices in the Play Store, and the Nexus 4 is another huge launch failure for Google. So let's get into some of the problems here. Originally, I was looking at the Nexus 4, and everyone said, oh, it's only $300, it's just a great price, and for the 8GB model, keep that in mind. And I was looking at it, I'm like, that is a fantastic price. Like, an off-contract phone for $300, that's fantastic. You normally see subsidized phones run like $350 for like some of the newer phones. Let alone seeing a Nexus device off-contract for such a low price. That was incredible. Everyone went crazy, and because of that, on release day, I think it was November 12th. November 11th. I should know that easier off the top of my head. But anyways, on release night of the Nexus 4, the release day, it got released at noon on the date of release. And everyone went to the store, and it crashed the Google Play Store. Now here's my quarrel. It's Google who's selling this device, and it would seem to me that Google, being the #1 most visited website of all time, they should be able to handle a lot of traffic. Like, if anyone's site shouldn't go down, it should be Google's. Like, they should definitely have a site that wouldn't go down after so much traffic. But it did incur a ton of problems. People ended up buying like 3 devices when they only meant to buy one, because of how bad the store was. They'd get an error, they'd go back and buy a new one, and in actuality, it showed them only buying one, but then they got charged for like 3, and they got delivered 3. Now, I'll get into the delivery process later on, but it's ridiculous. And I'll take my own experience. I didn't buy the Nexus 4 because I'm on T-Mobile, and it sounded like a great idea, but then I realized that I need to go over to Verizon soon anyway, so I decided I'm not going to buy it. Judging by how bad it was, I guess I couldn't have bought one anyways. They sold out in 24 minutes, guys, over here in America, and that's crazy. I don't know the genius that was short-sighted enough to think that this wasn't going to be a huge hit. Like, clearly there's going to be some demand for a $300 cell phone, but they underestimated the demand. Because of that, the Play Store sold out instantly. I think the longest it took to sell out was in Australia, and they took almost a little less than an hour, and that's the longest it was available for. And then people that got the device, they got notifications that it wouldn't be shipped for like 3 or 4 weeks. And now we're seeing a 10-week delay on the device if it's not sold out. So every country is a little different. And I'll take my own personal experience. I was buying the Nexus 7, and I bought it a little bit after. I said I bought it on release, so that's a lie. I looked at it. I wanted to hear some reviews on it because it was a $200 tablet, and nowadays we've seen tablets go much less than that. But at the time of the Nexus 7 back in June, when it got released, it was groundbreaking. It was a tablet being released for $200 that had Android in it like that. That's pretty freaking awesome. And I was really afraid it was going to be cheaply built, which it wasn't. To my surprise, the tablet's still holding up today perfectly fine, and it's a beautiful tablet. But I waited a little bit, and then when I got it, I ended up buying it off the Google Play Store, and they never gave me a confirmation. It just sat there in limbo, and literally to this day, it's still sitting there. And I called them up on tech support. I'm like, why? Where's my tablet? Why am I not getting it? And they couldn't cancel my order until they get the order processed. They couldn't cancel it until they get a confirmation of it or something. It was the weirdest thing. The lady on tech support sounded like she was embarrassed to be part of Google by how badly she was messed up with my order. So I had to buy one off Amazon. I still got the discount, but the Google Play gift card, but it cost me $250, and I still don't have my $200 back. It's sitting there in limbo, and I don't know how to get a hold of it. They can't do anything about it, and I can't get my own money back, so I'm gonna have to talk to my parents and see if they can help me out there. But the whole process is just crazy. Like, it's been like 3 or 4 months now. Like, what are they doing? And it's crazy. And the same thing happened with a lot of the other Nexus devices. The Nexus 10 lasted a little while in the Play Store, but the Nexus 7, the HSPA version, it sold out as well. The Nexus 10 lasted a little bit longer, but it sold out within the first couple of days as well. They need to fix their shit. They need to get more inventory. The bumpers, the little things, the little plastic cases. I mean, they're so cheap to make. I can't imagine it's hard to find a manufacturer to build these things, and they charge you $20 each. So they're making a huge margin off these things. You'd think they'd ship them out like crazy. People were just getting them last week that ordered them on release day, which is nearly a month after release. That's a little crazy for me. Also, about the phone itself, so a lot of people were saying how it's a miraculous device, only costing $300. And originally when I looked at it, the specs were fantastic, and they still are very fantastic. But I started to notice things that it was lacking, such as, the LT, of course, it's the main thing. But the fact that when everyone got the phone, a lot of people's backs broke instantly. There's a glass back, if you don't already know, which is a little short-sighted. Like, we've seen the iPhones, and everyone bitched about the glass back, and then they incorporated that inside the newest Android device. I'm not sure what they were thinking there. It looks cool, and I love the design on the back, how it glimmers a little bit. But I don't know what the reason behind that was. Like, if you know that functionally it doesn't work very well. So everyone's like breaking their glass backs. And I heard one guy even say that he broke it just by setting it down on a countertop that was a different temperature than the glass back of the phone was. It was warm from his hand, and the countertop was cold, and it ended up cracking the back just by the temperature change. That's not very good. So the device is only $300, but another problem is, of course, the glass back. The LT is another huge thing that everyone's complaining about, so it doesn't work with a lot of the carriers out there. But internationally, it's good. However, the screens were having this orange tint to them. People were saying that certain lights in the panel were not working at all. There was a lot of problems with the glue coming undone and like the screen rising up out of the device. Like, these are some serious problems, and I know the device is only $300, but it needs to be made a little bit better. I don't know what their profit margin is on the Nexus 4, if anything at all. I think that they might just be breaking even on the 8GB, maybe making a little bit on the 16GB version. But it seems to me that they could make it a little bit more usable, a little bit more lasting. Some of the Nexus devices will be used for the next couple of years, because people that stick with Nexus devices are going to like it because of the new operating system changes. If I have a Galaxy S3, for example, I'm going to replace that in like 3 months. Like, that's my average lifespan for a phone, is about 3 months. Because I don't really care much about the software, especially not Android 4.2, kind of a minor change there. But I'm going to get a new phone every 3 or 4 months. People that buy Nexus phones, that's the phone that you're going to have for a full year. It's kind of like buying an iPhone. You're not going to update it until the next Nexus device. At least that's what most people do that buy the Nexus device. So having it not even last, a month it's been out so far, and people are already finding problems with it. It's a little bit of a short-sightedness on Google's part. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Nexus 4 launch. I think it was awful. I just like talking about it because I love Google, but they really need to fix their shit when it comes to their launches. Anything about selling is not good. They're great at advertising, they're great at searches, and YouTube's all right as well. But their product launches, not so hot. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe, guys, if you're new. I post a lot of Android content, and I've been slacking off in the past, but now that finals are over, I'm finally focusing on my channels again. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.